Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a place many of us dream of, the Maldives. But we're going beyond the pristine beaches and overwater bungalows. We're going to explore the heart and soul of this island nation, its people and its incredible history. So grab a coconut water, get comfortable, and let's set sail for the Maldives. When you picture the Maldives, you probably imagine a paradise of 26 natural atolls and nearly 1,200 islands scattered like jewels across the Indian Ocean. But this stunning geography has also shaped a rich and complex history. For thousands of years, the Maldives has been a crucial crossroads on the major sea routes of the Indian Ocean. Its closest neighbors are Sri Lanka and India, and this proximity has woven a deep and lasting connection between their cultures. Think of it like this. The Indian Ocean wasn't a barrier, it was a highway, and the Maldives was a vital stop along that highway. Ancient sailors and traders from the Indian subcontinent, especially from a region called Kalinga, were among the earliest visitors. These weren't just quick stops to trade goods. These interactions brought profound cultural shifts. The Kalingas, for example, were instrumental in introducing Buddhism to the islands, a faith that would dominate Maldivian life for centuries. You can still find remnants of this Buddhist past in ancient stupas and monasteries scattered across various islands, silent witnesses to a bygone era. But the influences didn't stop there. For centuries, the Maldives was the world's primary source of cowrie shells. Now, these weren't just pretty shells you'd find on the beach. They were a major form of currency used all across Asia and even parts of the East African coast. Imagine that. This tiny island nation was essentially printing money for a huge part of the world. This trade in cowrie shells made the Maldives a player on the international stage, connecting it with far-flung kingdoms. Maldivian sailors and merchants were renowned for their skill, navigating their traditional dhoni boats to trade not just with India and Sri Lanka, but also with places as distant as modern-day Indonesia and Malaysia. The web of trade was incredibly complex. Archaeological discoveries tell a fascinating story. Stashes of Chinese porcelain and crockery have been unearthed across the Maldives. This tells us that there were direct or indirect trade links with the mighty Ming dynasty of China. In fact, the legendary Chinese Admiral Zheng He, who commanded a massive fleet of treasure ships, visited the Maldives on his voyages in the early 15th century. These visits were a big deal, highlighting the island's importance in the vast Indian Ocean trade network. This long history of trade and cultural exchange is what created the unique identity of the Maldivian people. Their language, Divehi, has its roots in ancient Indo-Aryan languages, but is infused with words from Arabic, Hindi, and English. Their traditions are a beautiful blend of South Asian, Middle Eastern, and Southeast Asian influences. It's a culture born from the sea, shaped by the monsoon winds, and enriched by centuries of interaction with the outside world. But life wasn't always peaceful trade. The strategic location of the Maldives also made it a target. In the 16th century, the Portuguese arrived, seeking to control the lucrative spice trade routes. They occupied the islands for a 15-year period, a time of hardship for the Maldivian people. But the spirit of independence runs deep in the Maldives. A local hero named Muhammad Thakurafanu led a guerrilla war against the Portuguese occupiers. His daring raids, often conducted at night from his legendary ship, the Kalhor Fumi, eventually drove the Portuguese out. To this day, Muhammad Thakurafanu is celebrated as a national hero, a symbol of Maldivian resilience and love for freedom. After the Portuguese, the Maldives entered a period of relative independence, ruled by a succession of sultans and sultanas. Yes, you heard that right, sultanas. The Maldives has a history of powerful female rulers, which was quite progressive for its time. However, the shadow of colonial powers still loomed. In the 19th century, the islands became a British protectorate. This meant that Britain handled the Maldives' defence and foreign affairs, but the Maldivians retained control over their internal matters, preserving their sultanate and their way of life. The 20th century brought immense change. The Maldives peacefully gained full independence from Britain in 1965, and just 3 years later, the centuries-old sultanate was replaced by a republic. This marked the beginning of modern Maldives. The capital city, Malé, began to transform from a quiet town into a bustling urban centre. But the biggest change was yet to come. In the 1970s, the first tourist resorts opened. This was a pivotal moment that would forever change the nation's economy and its image to the world. What started as a small-scale experiment, welcoming adventurous divers and sun-seekers, exploded into a world-renowned luxury travel industry. This shift brought economic prosperity, but also new challenges. How do you balance development with the preservation of your fragile ecosystem? How do you maintain your cultural identity in the face of global tourism? These are the questions that Maldivians grapple with today. The people of the Maldives are intrinsically linked to the ocean. For generations, they have been master fishermen, navigators, and boat builders. Fishing, especially for tuna, remains a vital part of the economy and a cornerstone of the culture. Traditional Maldivian cuisine is a celebration of the sea, with fish, coconut, and starches forming the holy trinity of most meals. Life on the local islands, away from the resorts, offers a glimpse into this authentic Maldivian way of life. Here, communities are close-knit. You'll see children playing in the sandy streets, neighbors chatting on traditional benches called juali, and the rhythm of life moving at a more relaxed pace. It's a world away from the luxury resorts, but it's where the true spirit of the Maldives resides. However, this idyllic existence faces a very real and present threat: climate change. As one of the lowest-lying countries in the world, the Maldives is on the front line of rising sea levels. The very existence of these beautiful islands is at stake. The Maldivian people are not just passive victims, they are powerful advocates for climate action on the global stage. They are innovating, building sea walls, restoring coral reefs, and exploring sustainable living practices. Their fight is a fight for survival, and it's a stark reminder of what's at stake for all of us. So the next time you see a picture of the Maldives, I hope you see more than just a beautiful beach. I hope you see a nation with a rich and layered history, a crossroads of ancient trade routes, and a home to a resilient and vibrant people, a people who have navigated the currents of history, from the days of cowrie shells and sultanas to the modern challenges of tourism and climate change. Their story is a testament to the human spirit's ability to adapt and thrive in even the most unique of environments. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey to the heart of the Maldives. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments what you found most interesting about Maldivian history and culture. Until next time, stay curious.